So let me ask you, after we've been talking about trying to keep active, let's tune it back here and let's go a little easier, okay? When you're working for productivity, you try to make it as easy as possible. And what got me thinking about that was something I thought you were going to talk about, Michael. There is a dish in the States that has you speak into your remote and say, I want to watch Yellowstone. And it'll go through all the apps that you have, right? And then find it for you and then show you what your options are, right? So I went, wow, it's about time they did that, because I do that all the time at work. How many of you use any of your applications verbally? Easy. Does anybody use Google Speak? Like when you're doing a search?
Oh, yeah.
No. Once in a while. I've just started to use it, but I find that sometimes, not so much with the computer, but with my phone, I'll be doing something. They'll give me something like totally random. Like what? Not even close what I asked for.
But see, the less you use it, the less it gets, like the more you use it, the more it gets to know your speech patterns, right? Okay. So you don't have to be right on. Like when I'm using my Google phone as a companion, it says, do you want to send that text? And I go, yeah, okay. It records that and says, okay, sending now. I don't have to say yes. Like it gets to know you and what your intentions are, if you will, right? So, okay, so if you're not using Google just to do searches, I wonder how many of you use Word documents? Microsoft Word.
Yep. Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
That's what I write in, so. Okay.
You too, Sheila? Hi, Sutton family in Victoria. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so do any of you talk to your Word? No. It's amazing. I don't know about you, Maggie, but I'm not a great typist. For my generation, I cheated on those typewriters that didn't have letters on them, right? You were supposed to look at the keyboard up on the wall, right, to learn your keys. And I cheated, not realizing how important it would be in future life, right? And especially if I'm on a laptop, it feels like, I don't know why, but I just don't have the accuracy, which is really low to begin with on a keyboard. It's like, there's not one word there. How did that happen?
Oh, sometimes my hand will be like my right, not so much left, but my right hand will be one over and
yes.
Yeah. I even though, I learned to type properly. I learned actually on an old manual.
Yeah.
But I literally, I'm still a lousy type. I mean, I've taken typing courses, when I had to, and I'm still a lousy typist.
Okay. Are you guys seeing my Word document here?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Good. So you'll notice up in the right-hand corner here is this little dictate. Now, I'm not sure because I'm on Zoom if it will work. Good morning, everyone. Oh, there we go. Good morning, everyone. That's how easy that is.
But I think you have to have 365 for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. How are you today?
No, I turned it off. Sorry. Are you talking to your own?
No, I actually just tried it on my own version.
There you go. And
you
it
know
worked?
what, Kathryn? I found an old staff manual, right? And I thought, I'm going to update it. So I started just reading it out, and except for the name My Agency, which is MI Agency, right?
That's how you have to say it. Yeah.
Where it doesn't understand the I, it says MY, right? But except for that, it does a great job. And I was able to bang out in 15 minutes, really what would take me hours to do, or days even.
Right. Yeah. And Ivan says, because we were talking about this not too long ago, and he goes, but now what do I do? Right. Well, if we wanted to end the sentence, we could do it with question mark. Well, I don't know about that. So delete that delete, period. Pretty responsive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You'd
Is
be
that-
amazed. So if you go down to this little,
So Kathryn, can I ask you a question now? I'm
certainly,
going to ask you to say something into it because you just used the word period. So just say during the period.
okay.
I want to see if
During
it
the
puts in a
period?
period or the word period. Okay, put the word in. Okay.
It is.
Yep.
Right? So it knows if you've used it as a sentence or as a punctuation.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And
I've
it's
got
amazing.
OneNote, and OneNote doesn't do the punctuation. At least I haven't figured it
Okay, I didn't now see, I never even thought to look at OneNote.
out.
But I find now there's tons of commands and I'm not really great at all, like the basic.
You can actually tell it
right?
to auto punctuate, right? And it'll just
Oh,
guess.
that'll drive you crazy.
Oh, really? Oh,
If you're reading, you can do auto that. If you're reading something like the document that you did, but if you pause to think, it says, oh, he's done his thought, period.
mm.
And you go, and blah, 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 and it's a capital A, and you're going, oh my God, this is more work than it's worth, right? So I tried that. Yeah, I played with some of them. But what's really great is they do have all these directions, right? So again, it's the really simple stuff, but for editing, like I mentioned delete's just the last word that you said, but I said delete that, and it took away the whole phrase because I was half speaking to you, half dictating,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then I just delete and got rid of the question mark. So that kind of stuff I found really, really helpful. Start a new sentence. So it just takes it to the next line as opposed to start new paragraph, which will give you that extra.
So if you were finished a sentence,
Mhm.
when you started to talk again, would it automatically leave a space and start a new sentence, or do you have to tell it to start that new sentence?
No, you don't have to tell it to start the new sentence, but it would have no punctuation. So let me attempt something. So would this program do punctuation without me telling it to? Period. So you'll notice where I picked up because I had no punctuation there. Oh, hold on. Oh, and it won't let me swear. It puts little asterisks there, just so you know.
Is there a setting for swear words?
There is. There is.
That's hilarious.
Thank goodness, yeah. So because I didn't put a punctuation at the end of my last sentence, it just carried on. Right?
I'm real curious, Kathryn.
Yeah.
If you're ever on having an argument with somebody on the phone, you put them on speakerphone and you fired this up and just said, okay, I want to get every word they say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't work, unfortunately.
Oh, it doesn't?
It won't pick up other people because it unless they're like with you. I forget what the heck I was doing, and I said something to someone, forgetting that I had dictate on, and we had this conversation. Then I went, oh, dot, 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 and it recorded all of it.
Both parties or just you?
Both parties, because we were here, but not on a, like I tried
Okay.
to see if a recording off the computer would work.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't.
Well,
So-
that makes sense because you're using the microphone as the voice input. So unless the microphone could actually pick up the, like maybe if you had your speakers on and it picked up the talking, like you wouldn't be able to have a headset on. So you'd have to use the microphone.
I'm not working.
Oh.
No, and I'm out of a speaker right now. Right. So I think it changes the microphone too, right?
Yeah, because there's a built-in microphone in your laptop, right?
In
So
my
if
desktop, yeah.
Yeah. So if you had if you're using sound on your speakers rather than on a headset,
Mhm.
so now the sound is in the air and the microphone would pick that up, I would think.
Mhm. Okay, maybe.
Right,
That's
but not
good
on
to
a
know.
headset, obviously, because it's not getting any sound to the microphone when you have a headset
Yeah.
on, right?
Now, I must admit, I have just been doing a program because I want to put it on Ivan's new platform there, right, for the new year, WMIS. And so it's such dry information. I thought I would talk the information as well, right? So you have both. And I'm not making any instructor notes because this is a self-driven, self-paced program. But anytime I talk to myself, all of a sudden it started recording what I'm saying to my muttering, right? Like, what the heck did I do there? How did I spell that wrong? Oh, I cannot say that word properly. And it's like, all there,
Yep.
all there. So I found that when I am correct or changing instructor notes, because my first aid program is all PowerPoint based, I'll be able to go in and change all my instructor notes. So I could do like Ivan was talking about, because I already have an instructor manual, I could take those notes and just read them onto the PowerPoints. How amazing is that? Like, again, Ivan says talking about saving so much time, right? It's great. So Maggie, you're an editor.
Mhm.
And I can't edit for the life of me. But I found if I hear it, I will know that that's wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Because often I speak and it types the way I'm speaking and I'm
Yeah.
adding too many thes and ands or, doing that double negative stuff and all that, right? So
Yeah, even if I was like say writing something, speaking, I can guarantee you there would be like an or a thing. I would go in and get rid of that. But
yeah. So okay, are you guys seeing another Word document? Talking Tech?
Mm.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the options you have under review is to read out loud. And so with reading this out loud, wherever your cursor is, it will start. So this is a paragraph that I took out of a news article that I was reading. All right. And so let me just make sure. Share sound. All right. And read out loud.
But one evening in May, Secker said Brooklyn began to feel ill after eating a muffin with these milk particles, developing hives as her airway restricted. Secker said she gave Brooklyn Benadryl and 2 doses of epinephrine via an EpiPen, but hesitated as she was unsure of what to do. While medical experts stressed the importance.
There we go. She didn't miss a word. Her inflection, even though there wasn't a comma there, it was like, that's pretty cool. Now, they only have one male, one female voice. They're neither are really bad, but neither are really great either, But if you had said something, again, like Maggie was saying right in there, it was like you'd go, oh, put the on the wrong side of that, or oh yeah, I know that word. I don't know what they call it in grammar, but it's in the wrong spot because it sounds like I'm coloring something else, Mm-hmm. So I think these things are invaluable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other thing. What about spelling does it pick up on the right spelling? Like you've got like there, and like you got 3 there's.
So what will happen?
Where is another one, depending on the meanings.
If it's not sure, if it's put the right there, because it guesstimates from what you've said, right?
Yeah.
It will have a gray line underneath it.
Hmm.
And when you right click it, it'll say, is this the correct? Right. And then it'll give you the other options. And if it keeps saying that you know, I don't think this is right. Are you sure? It'll keep that gray line. You can go, just ignore it, right? It's fine.
Yeah.
It's the way I want it to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that voice was actually quite surprisingly good, actually.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Like it's not that drone
Yeah.
that you can tell is completely automated, right?
Linda came in to collect some sheets today. So I missed a bit. Now this is still in Word?
Yes, so
But
we
you
were
have to-
on home, right, when we did the dictate.
Yeah, it looked like it was, so,
Right, so now for the talk, we went to review.
okay.
So where you get your editor, thesaurus, word count, and
Yeah.
you read it loud.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Nobody ever uses any of this, eh?
Yeah, no, I like I said, I tried the OneNote. I took Staples did a thing on it, and I tried it, and it just didn't really seem to work that well for me because the punctuation wasn't there, and maybe I did it wrong. I don't know. Because I don't have 365. I'm beginning to think it's about time I upgrade, but
For I think it's $10 or $12 a month.
yeah.
I know, and you can get caught by all those little subscriptions. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know. I got mine is all streaming, but yeah.
But this gives the 365. Man, I wish I could get some passive income from Microsoft, because this is one of those things I really believe in.
Yeah.
It's the latest. So like if they came out with a upgrade, you know, I've got it.
Mm.
And a lot of times I don't even know that I've got it until I go to do something, or because I never read those administrative updates. Click, whatever, right? I don't have time for that stuff.
See, the upgrade would be as if you could record your own voice, certain words, and then Word knows how to translate that, your tones, to other words. And then when it's reading back and you're reading it to a client, it sounds like you're reading it rather than X lady, right? And they're like, oh, look, this is a great presentation Kathryn did today. She had this all out and she read it all nicely for us. And you could actually be sitting there working on something else in the background while they think that you're giving a great presentation.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing. I can in some stuff. Go ahead, Ivan. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Michael, can you imagine all of the phone calls you'll get from people that you know telling you that they're stuck someplace and they need you to send them $50?
Oops.
Yeah, there's that side.
Yeah, there always is that side, right?
Well, I'm going to say right now, anyone who wants to send me $50 is more than welcome.
Yeah. And I'll gladly tell you, Linda's address is. No.
Yeah.
And I don't have any grandchildren, so if there's my grandson is in jail, I'm thinking that's pretty awesome because I don't have
Hey, if
What a way to find out.
that to me, my grandson is 2. How the hell is a 2-year-old going to end up?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Now it's funny. If anybody's a Google person, I tried this with Google to open up their Google Docs, right? And that's not, you have to be in Google, right? So I don't know if anybody, because Google Works, I think is what it's called now, if that's correct. It's a paid for, just like Microsoft. So I don't know. And nobody? No, everybody's Microsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, this is, guys. I just think of Michael. How could you use this?
Well, I mean, I can talk way faster than I can type. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the typing feature would be like pretty awesome. But, you know, one of the things that a lot of people have to do, and it's something that I learned a long time ago you should never do, and that is edit their own documents. You're not supposed to edit your own documents because if you read them, you read what you think is on the piece of paper, not what actually is on the piece of paper. Now if you have this thing where it's being read back to you rather than you actually reading it. Like you said, Kathryn, now you could say, yeah, you know what? That's just dumb. Like, why did I say that? Right? I got to fix that. And so I can see the technology, for something like that being good. I think it's still the best is to have somebody who's not attached to your document read it.
Yeah,
They'll
true enough.
pick it apart. They'll give you insight you will never get yourself.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
Linda,
that's true.
though.
But I picked
correct
up a
her
lot
stuff.
of little stuff. Sorry, Maggie.
I said not Linda though. I correct her stuff.
Yeah, now don't forget, this also tells me if my grammar is off, right?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Oh, a lot of the times I can hear the little stuff. Like, again, that doesn't sound right. I think I've put that word in the wrong spot in the sentence, right? Or I've got two thes or something like that. So you're right. It may not make them the best sentences they could be, but it certainly takes them from being like ridiculous to acceptable, not necessarily the best, right? So
Will it tell you if you have a rambling sentence?
yes, if there's too
many
not,
like ands and stuff like that, where it just keeps on going and, where
it'll
it says,
tell
you know what?
You have too many connective words, I think it is.
Yep.
Right? Just like in SEO tells you you don't have enough. You passive. Do you want to be passive in this tense? I'm trying to think what else. There's a whole bunch of things. Like you can set in your options what you want it to do for you, right? So when you go to in your Word document, if you go to options, it has all this, and then with your proofing, you have a whole bunch of options here, right? And that goes down below yet. And so you can pick what you want it to do. And by the way, in language, make sure you have Canadian English. They finally have that now.
Oh.
We do not have to use American English and correct all the U's, right, Sheila?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Although in my case, sometimes can you switch back and forth? Because I would think, like, say, if I'm doing an article for Lakeland, which is an American magazine, I would be better off using the American.
Good point.
So,
yeah, good point. Yeah, and that's true because Sheila, you do your home company is American as well, right? So that might be the best for you. But again, Michael is not going to deal with anybody who's American because of the industry he's in. And so, yeah, you can have Canadian English. That's the best part.
yeah.
That's been around for a long time. I can remember installing that on previous versions of Word going back, I don't know,
Canadian?
10 years. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't.
So here's
I've been
where
on
the problem
American
comes.
for a really long time. It's just
Here's where the problem comes in is your keyboard has to stay US English. Your keyboard is US English, and then you have to tell Microsoft Word to be, because you can put in different languages. Like I at one point put in German because I can speak German, and I had some German relatives at one time, so I could actually switch over from English, Canadian English to German.
Right.
And then your whole thing goes German on you. The problem is your keyboard might not be matching up properly, right?
Yes.
And because we don't
But I
have
don't
the
think there's that
keys
much-
labeled properly.
That much difference between English or Canadian and American English,
Yeah.
right?
Not really.
But I can certainly see, yes, if you're, the German or stuff like that, like they can pick up certain things so you can get the right money, right, sign or something like that.
The other's the
mark or the
like
euro.
the accents on the E's and stuff in
Yeah.
French. And you have some of those in German too, where there's certain accents on certain letters.
Yeah.
Couple dots somewhere up top.
The umlaut, I think it's called.
I don't speak German. A couple words here and there that Dad used to use.
Yeah, you have the double dots. I think it's usually on the letter U, but
So,
not always. Depends
Keyboard,
contextually.
they've got Canadian as well, right, Michael?
I've only ever seen US English for keyboard.
That's what I was just playing with while you guys were talking. And language preferences, I have English US keyboard, English Canada US keyboard.
Oh, okay.
Which is way better than the French, because then everything comes in with accent vous, and you're going, where the hell did that come from? Heck, did that come from? Right?
And accent grave also.
Well, that's the only one our kids and I would be practicing, and the accent vous was our joke of the day when they were practicing. So
Was that grade 10 French, Michael?
I had a grade 10 French teacher who she chuckled me. I laughed. It was the way she was built. She was a little bit of a top heavy lady, and she could not see the extension cord for the overhead machine. And she was forever tripping over this cord. But one other thing that she really, really drove home to us was really accentuating the letter R. So she would say, when you say the letter R, you have to reach right down into your lungs. And she would use the word tres. And she'd go, and she said, you roll your R. And we would spend hours rolling R's because she had this emphasis on the letter R.
This is funny.
yeah, I was just trying to see if there was anything here, Michael, because I know you use Excel. Oh,
I think it's maybe the same features. You have it here as you have in Word, like because it's the same company. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Record
You probably have
actions.
it.
So you'd probably have to say, like, go to A5 and then enter word dog.
Well, and don't forget, it will have a help on it, right?
Yeah. When it gets to spreadsheets, I think it gets a little more complex because you have to tell it where to go and then what to put in there, like what like doing the formulas. I don't know how it would do like some formula, and then you tell it, I wanted some blocks A5 to A9 or whatever.
Yeah, but that's, a quick check of the help, right? And bring that up on the side for the first, till you get used to using the terms. It might really, really help. What I think about is, I know how useless I would be even if I had hurt my thumb.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
And you did. Now what are you going to do when you type? It's going to be like your personal life, right? You don't realize how much you use your thumb until you don't have access to it anymore. Could you imagine this?
Well, people like me, Kathryn, that only use my index finger to type. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I think it's also useful.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Victoria.
I think it's also useful, like, for example, if you have your own business and you just working and you have an idea and you just record it on your cell phone, and then you come back and then you put up the Word document and I want to say it to you, and then you just record it and then to write it out.
I can send Victoria a voice text message.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I text myself in the car reminders, because I'm not aware of anything else I can do. So I go text, say my phone number, because it's not going to it doesn't recognize my name as a text, right? And I tell myself the message that I want to remember to put, that I have an appointment with Sheila Thursday, January 13th at 2 p.m. or whatever, right? And it'll say, okay, this is your message. Do you want me to send it? And I go, yes. And at least I've got the text when I get back to somewhere where I can physically put it in. So you're right.
I got to say, Michael, typing is the one thing that I could have taken in high school. We actually had a typing course, and it was like, well, nobody takes typing but girls because it's for secretaries, right? Because this was the 80s. That's right. The only people who typed were secretaries because that was their job, right? And I was like, when am I ever going to type in my life? I'm never going to type. So, and now we're all secretaries really because we're all typing, right?
I took it because I thought it was going to be a bird course, right? An easy credit. And then
People told me to take it because you'd need all the girls.
So
what's that, Maggie?
I was forced to take it. So
Oh yeah, no.
like I'd already learned the basic because I started before high school. I'm saying on my mom's old manual typewriter. It wasn't one of the ones, it was more of a flat thing.
Yeah.
And which I think I still have. But I learned on that. She bought me a book on how to type. Now she had been a secretary. Years and years. Not at that point. She only worked for the first 5 years of my parents' marriage and then became.
Well, has anybody watched, Michael, your kids are the same age as mine. You ever seen your daughter text or type?
Oh, they just go do. They're just
They
don't even look at it.
My daughter, because Michael and I are just a few years apart. My daughter's 28 and she learned to type on Facebook because that's what it was. That's all they had access to, right? And my husband changed jobs because he was injured and he was going to be a dispatcher. So he had to learn to use a keyboard. And so the city put him through Mavis Beacon. Right? Really good. She helped me a lot. And so he was practicing at home and he says, I'm up to 60 words per minute. Get out of town. So he shows me. And I said, wow. No, I think he was 50 something. My daughter gets on and she was just over 60 with no formal training whatsoever. Right.
I mean, there is a thing about the hand position and obviously memorizing those keys so you know
the little
where
dots.
they are.
Yeah.
There's something to it. I'm not going to figure it out in my lifetime. I'm like Ivan when it comes to typing.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, Mavis Beacon probably took me from barely 10 words per minute with a gazillion errors to I'm a little over 30 with still errors, but thank goodness also Word is intuitive and it goes, oh yeah, no, that's not IE, it's EI or IE or received in peace. And the times that okay, you can't give me a rule to use LE or EL, then Word corrects it for me, right? So look at Sheila going, yeah. I had to ask Bill, did I miss this in my wonderful Catholic education? How do you know when to use EL or LE? And he goes, there's no rule for that, Kathryn. No. You mean you just have to know it? Yeah. Damn.
Now, is it smart enough to know the difference in the different LEDs? So I led you to a LED bar. So would it know that one is LED and one is LEAD?
Yes. So, and again, it may put the wrong one in, but then it realizes where the sentence is going, goes back and changes it. Yeah.
Because that takes a lot of there's a lot of software behind it.
I can't imagine the
contextual thing, right?
Yeah.
Right. I've said that go ahead.
Even like when you have words that are the same, lead and lead, right? They're spelled the same, right?
Yes.
Material, lead, and lead. I mean, that's one of the kind of idiosyncrasies of the English languages that we have the same word and it's pronounced differently depending on what it is we're talking about.
And it throws the rules out the window, right? Like, you remember when two vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, right? or I before E except after C. Well, there's a lot of exceptions to that one.
Or is it two or two?
That's right.
Well, believe me, with Afnan being here, she'd come in and go, okay, so this draw, how do you spell it, right? And I went, what are you talking about? Well, you're going to have a draw for the open house. And I went, DRAW. And she goes, no, that's draw. And I went, they're the same. Like when you, yeah, they're spelt the same, but they mean two completely different things.
Yeah.
Not even related. Like, and then she'll come in and go, well, what does that mean? Good friggin' question. I've used it for 40 years. I don't know. I just know its intent, right? Like, to use the proper word because it's going to pass along your intention. But what's the definition? Let's look it up. Dr. Google. What does this mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy. I hats off to anybody who learns English as a second language. Because as an adult, right? Like if you got it since you were growing up, but it's hard. 56 and I failed grammar all through my life. Like, so I went in a job that I could use short forms. I can spell 5 letters of any word, I tell you, and put them usually in the right order. Not necessarily.
I use, sort of basics for when I'm writing, like when I'm, because I do a lot of my writing, like with pen and paper. So I have my own little short forms that I'll use, but when I'm typing it out, I know to do it proper.
Maggie, I used to be like you, where I wrote everything in a book. I still have a book here that I write things in here, but the more I write in books, the more I get frustrated that I can't search. Right? I got to keep flipping. Right? I can't search. It's so much easier to put it into anything else.
Well, when I'm doing an article, like a major article, like I'll have papers all scattered all over the place because I'll have paragraph here, and then then I shuffle them around. I tried using that Scriber app one time,
right?
And it seemed like it was going to work great because you can write little paragraph and you can move them around. Oh, perfect. But then when I finally got thing done and was ready to, like, I had all these, they're like little note cards, and was going to put them all together. It wouldn't put it together for me.
Hey, Maggie, look at what Kathryn has.
Yeah.
I got my Christmas present. I don't think you'll be able to tell what it is. Oh.
Yeah, take off your background.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. So I got my Christmas. Oops.
Well, that kind of one solution.
Yeah. It's technology. Why would the tech person be able to go really, like, not even the blur, right?
We're going to need to see your background.
Okay. None.
Does someone have birds?
That's us. They sit right where our vents are, and it sounds like
I'm hearing these birds, and I'm like,
yeah.
Not in my house. I'm phobic.
Yeah, no. So I got the Remarkable for Christmas, and because I love to write, and I'm very much like you. I had to clean my office up before open house, but I usually have like 9 of those dollar store books. The coil books that you get for a couple bucks, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is,
one in my purse. Almost.
I'm getting to the point.
Unless it's saving purse.
Which book is it?
Yeah.
Did I bring the right book? Okay, well, I'll put it in this book, and I never transfer it, right? So I have now been able to do, so I'm drawing stuff out. This doesn't switch very good, I must admit. I found that out, but hold on, let me get to there. So I've been writing. The perfect thing is I can tell this to, I got to hit the right, I'm still learning. Convert to text.
And it'll convert your handwriting to text.
Oh, wait a minute. It's coming. Yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And then I get to email it to myself, or like in my program, right? Yeah. And then I open up my desktop or your laptop, and then you add it in where you want it. Okay. Now there are many different things that will do this. By the way, so if you paid $10 a month for Microsoft, or $12, I'm not sure, right? You could say it, and it would subscribe it or scribe it for you, right?
Right.
Into your Microsoft.
Right. Right.
The only other thing is with not with the writing, but with the voice that's with any accuracy is Otter. And it's a paid for service.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what Sherry uses.
Kathryn,
It's good
does
for
it-
conversations, yeah.
can you, I know there was a greeting card company, it was an online card guy. I'm trying to remember the guy's name, but they had an ability where you could write all the letters in the alphabet, capital and small case, insert it in, and then when you wrote a greeting card, it was actually in your handwriting. So you could dictate it in, and it would come out in your handwriting.
Wow.
Ivan, you probably know the guy too. He used to go to a lot of networking events.
Was that for send out cards?
Yes, that's what it was. Send out cards.
Right. Yeah.
Where
Yeah,
you
I remember
could,
that.
where you, like that would be, you know, when you get into like the Microsoft Dictate, if you could have your handwriting in there and it all put it out as you would write it, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
like
don't
the
know
way
if
in my
that's-
My
language.
handwriting is extreme chicken scratching.
Well, that's all right.
and you
We're
gotta
gonna know
watch.
it's yours.
I
We'll
can
know
read
it's
it.
yours though.
So Sheila would be aware of some of the medical, like with is a C with a line over it, and without is the S with the line over. It doesn't know what that is,
Right.
right? So I get, I don't know what I get. It's ridiculous, right? I tried to do, I did myself that graph. Now, if I had done the graph properly and not done all my little, you know, put flowers around, you know, funny
Actually,
arrows.
Kathryn, you
It might
probably
work.
can do those things. What you have to look into is, and it's harder to
Oh,
find
adding
nowadays.
them?
No, Microsoft used to have a chart, and it had all the symbols in it, and it would say, you know, the symbol for the pound sign,
Mhm.
for instance, is Alt 129 or whatever.
Right.
And you would have to say Alt 129 character, and it would put in whatever characters. So those medical ones are probably in a chart somewhere. You just have to know where to find them.
Could be, yeah, it could be that they're there. But I never even thought of that with Microsoft. I was just mentioning on the remarkable, right? Like it doesn't understand that, right? It just leaves a blank in there, and it doesn't like my charts. I don't know why. Bye, Sheila. Thanks for coming. Yeah, and now that
So
Sheila
that
says that, I've got
remarkable thing,
another call.
yeah, that remarkable thing, is that the name of the tablet, Kathryn?
Yes. Yeah, this is the Remarkable 2, which is the newest version, right?
Okay.
And it comes with a, where is it? A pen. Well, you know what I mean. But what I like
Stylus,
about this is it's thick enough. It's not those super thin ones where you get a cramp in your hand. It's like holding a regular pencil or pen, right? And even if you wanted it bigger, it's big enough that you could put one of those rubber expanders on, you know, to make it thicker. And it's this, it truly is the same as writing on paper. You're not pressing harder. It's not skipping. At first I thought it was skipping, but that's because I had the dotted broken line on. But yeah, it's great. I really, I'm enjoying it. So
Yeah, I have a question though.
Yeah.
Like you said, converts to text, but what if you've got really bad handwriting? Like how well does that pick up?
that's a good question. I'm not sure how badly it would, like my handwriting's not wonderful,
Yeah.
but it's not bad. Like it's
Unless I go slow, my handwriting, because I'm scribbling, like I'm writing really as fast, like, you know, as my brain's trying to work.
yeah.
It's debatable at times.
But you know what? I bet you
You
that
probably
they,
be better with
No,
words.
but it gets, I'm looking if I can read it afterwards sometimes.
yeah, but you know what? When they're doing product development, though, I mean, they're testing it with all kinds of handwriting because most people, like, think about doctors and how they scribble their notes, right? They're looking for professionals to use it. So, you know, I would just, I'm sure there's a place where you can sample it, right, Kathryn?
Yeah, I if you're in the office, let me know.
Okay.
You're welcome to,
Yeah.
to try it.
Yeah.
But if your brain's going that speed, you'd probably be better with talking,
Yeah.
right? To text.
I know
So-
I bought years ago, I bought myself a recorder just because I always say, well, I'm going to record stuff because I'll be honest with you, this may make me sound nuts. Sometimes I'll put something in my head, I like a scene or whatever, and I'll literally speak it. And then I'll sit down and write it.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll speak out loud if I'm by myself. I mean, maybe not if I'm, you know.
Well,
Even
no.
I'm having a conversation, but it's conversation to characters, like in a play or something.
Now, no, my dear, if you have the online Microsoft, I swear to God, I should get royalties here. You get to put it on more than one device.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was eventually going to get it.
I saw the word come in, Kathryn.
Thank you. Yeah, you saw the DEV and knew what the rest was. Yeah.
Yep.
So you can get that on your phone and talk to your phone. Open it, have a Word doc that's always open, and then just keep adding, and there you go.
Yeah.
And
Right.
actually, when you speak things out, it what you're saying, Maggie, is that helps you visualize.
Yeah.
For some reason, spoken words will help you visualize, whereas if you just use it in your brain as a thought, it's harder to visualize something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, we blew through an hour.
Yeah. And I have another quick question.
It was great. It was great information, like just reminding like what you can do. I think
Yeah,
I love
and we
it.
pay for it. Most
I
of us
forgot
are
about
paying.
completely voice recognition. Yeah, in
That's
those.
awesome. Great, thank you, Maggie. Go ahead.
Okay. I say I don't have 365, but I'm beginning to think I need to upgrade. So if I wanted to upgrade, say I upgraded today.
Yeah.
It's not a problem money-wise. Would I still be able to use the new version with like everything I've already written? Like I'm in the middle of a
Of course.
Yes, they will make
I
sure.
speak?
You need to talk to Thomas because
Okay.
he'll make sure that you don't get a new account. Your
Yeah.
account is just upgraded,
Okay.
right? Because I did that once where I thought I could do it all online, and I had a personal account and wanted business, and I
Yeah.
ended up with 2 separate accounts until I got to an IT person. So
Yeah.
yeah, give Thomas a show and he can upgrade you like almost instantaneous. As soon as he gets the money, you can have the product.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how he does with me anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys, for a wonderful talk. It was great to
Thank
see
you.
everybody again. Victoria, I was starting to worry if I hadn't seen you today. It's like,
No, it was just I'm still in the mood of the holidays.
oh,
That's right.
that's right. Yesterday. Oh, no, that's today is the
Yeah,
Orthodox.
it's just like it's just hard to come back.
Yes, I know.
Of course.
That's because she has fresh baked bagels by her parents every day, right? I know that area. It was like, please put me on a standby at Bathurst so I can go a little north and get all those bagels and wok and cream cheese. Yeah.
Mm.
Have a wonderful weekend, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you so much. Thank you. It was amazing.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Good seeing you, Michael.
Bye.
Good seeing you,
Seeing
Victoria. Nice. Maggie, good seeing you.
You do.